Americans, to all Tennesseans and all Warren County residents. With continued mixed signals coming from both Washington and Nashville, the burden of this pandemic lies on the shoulders of every single Warren County resident. If we wish to change the situation at hand, we all must act accordingly, with diligence, compassion, and with common sense. This virus is not going away anytime soon. The development of a vaccine does look promising, but until then, our community is on our own to combat this crippling disease, this unseen enemy. As our numbers grow geometrically, with positive cases tripling over the last few weeks, your action and your cooperation is the key to our success. Without you, we will not be able to start back to school, and businesses will not get back to normal. None of us want that. None of us want any of this at this particular time. But it is the crisis that we face each and every day now. It's become part of our routine. No matter how much denial there is, we face it each and every day. With God's strength and your valor, we can do this. We have to keep our faith and our commitment to serve others while we follow the guidelines in place and focus on the safety and security of our beloved community. We cannot afford to lose this battle. The choice is yours. To quote Martin Luther King, we often must accept finite disappointments, but never lose infinite hope. The City of McMinnville recently passed a resolution encouraging citizens and visitors to wear face coverings. The mayor was unable to be here today, but I would like to read Resolution 2112 from the City of McMinnville that was recently passed. It says, whereas the safety and well-being of the citizens of the City of McMinnville is of greatest importance, whereas the governor of the state of Tennessee has not granted powers to municipalities to mandate the use of face coverings during the COVID-19 pandemic, and whereas the Board of Mayor and Aldermen believes in the best interests of the citizens of the City of McMinnville to wear face coverings during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of McMinnville, Tennessee, that Section 1, the Mayor and Board of Aldermen encourages all citizens and those visiting to use face coverings during this nationwide pandemic. The Board of Mayor and Aldermen encourages businesses and places of public gatherings to adopt policies requiring face coverings on all who enter the establishment during the pandemic. I now wish to read my executive order, and it will stand as follows. Whereas a state of emergency exists across the nation, both Tennessee Governor Lee and county mayors have broad powers in regards to conducting business and taking measures over the conduct of civilians and the calling of public meetings. And whereas COVID-19 disease remains a threat to our citizens, our healthcare systems, and our economy, making it necessary to each Warren County resident to protect themselves and others by following applicable health guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and other leading medical experts to slow the spread of this virus, including social distancing, effective personal hygiene, and wearing appropriate face coverings in public settings. Whereas most importantly, wearing a cloth mask is a simple step that each resident and visitor can take to slow the spread of this virus, which prevents taking more drastic and disruptive measures against our local economy. Whereas pursuant to the authority and the emergency powers of Governor Lee under law and those granted to county mayors across the state of Tennessee. Now therefore, I, Jimmy Haley, County Executive, by the virtue and authority vested in me, declare and continue to issue a state of emergency in order to facilitate a response to COVID-19 and in support of the City of McMinnville's resolution, do act upon the following. Persons are urged to wear face coverings in all public places. It's recommended that all residents and visitors wear masks in public settings where close proximity to others are anticipated, and especially where social distancing measures are difficult to maintain. Large public gatherings are strongly discouraged. Coverings do not have to be placed on children under the age of 2 years, and it is recommended that N95 masks should be reserved for healthcare workers and first responders. Number 2, all Warren County government employees are required to wear appropriate face coverings while at work, conducting county business, or dealing directly with the public, both inside and outside county facilities. The public access to public buildings have restrictions placed upon their use, and policies are in place to secure the continuance of essential government services. All businesses are urged to adopt mandatory face mask policies for both employees and customers and to enforce those mandates for the safety of all concerned. These orders are consistent with CDC guidelines and includes exemptions as deemed advisable and provided that at a minimum there should be no requirement that a face mask must be worn within one's own residence or automobile by a child 2 years or age of or younger, by someone who has trouble breathing due to underlying health conditions or other bona fide medical or health-related reasons for not wearing a face covering, unless required in a qualified health facility by someone who's incapacitated or otherwise unable to remove the face coverings without assistance, while eating or drinking, while outdoors unless the person cannot maintain proper social distancing, while working under conditions where social distancing can be maintained, in situations where wearing a mask poses a safety or security risk, while in a house of worship unless it is required by its leadership or encouraged for the safety of those in worship, while in a voting site for the purpose of exercising your right to vote, but wearing a mask there is strongly encouraged. This local order is promulgated under the authority delegated pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Title 58, Chapter 2, Part 1 for the purposes of TCA Section 58-D120. This order shall be effected upon the execution and shall remain in effect until the governor of the state of Tennessee ends or extends Executive Order 54, or the county executive takes further measures to issue mandates or further recommendations granted under the authority of the state. Just to reiterate, this is not a forced mandate across the county. It is a recommendation that we urge in order for us to contain and mitigate this virus that's devastating our community. With the number of cases increasing and the number of deaths also increasing in our own local community, it is expedient that we all take action and do our part for the safety and security of every man, woman, and child in this county. The governor will be doing a conference today where he gives us further direction, and as we study the metrics and the health numbers come in, we will take action when necessary. I welcome to the podium now Mr. Dale Humphrey, CEO of St. Thomas River Park Hospital.
Good morning. Thank you, County Executive Haley, and appreciate our local media as always for spreading the news as we have it. Again, as he mentioned, I'm Dale Humphrey, the CEO at St. Thomas River Park, and I've got the latest COVID-19 updates. Tennessee continues to be designated as a hotspot due to rising numbers of positive COVID-19 cases. Testing numbers in Tennessee stand at over 1.4 million people tested. There have been over 96,000 positive cases so far. 4,244 patients have been hospitalized and over 57,000 luckily have recovered. There have been 978 deaths in Tennessee. The highest percentage of positive cases are still in the 21 to 30-year-old age group, and that stands at 24%, but it is now reported that there has been a death in every age group across the state of Tennessee. The death rate remains above 10% in all age groups over the age of 51. For some good news, the company Moderna Incorporated has begun phase 3 clinical trials of its investigational vaccine on approximately 30,000 adult patients. So we're all anxious for a vaccine to be available. In Warren County, 6,273 citizens have been tested, and we now have 317 positive patients. That's up from 222 just last week. 132 have recovered, and we still have the 3 confirmed deaths in Warren County where COVID-19 was a factor, although we expect more deaths in the near future. Last week I reported our infectious positive rate was 33 per 10,000. Now it stands at 52 per 10,000 and is continuing to rise. Within St. Thomas Health System, we have begun in-house COVID-19 testing with the capability of performing 20,000 tests in-house per month. This will improve our ability to turn tests around more quickly, and we will not have to rely on outside laboratories to process and provide these results. We have reached a new record system-wide within the number of COVID-positive patients within our hospitals. Of the 1,000 or so patients within our system, 18% are COVID-related. Of the 150 patients in our ICUs, 29% are COVID-related. And of the 45 patients on ventilators within St. Thomas Health, 40% are COVID-related. We are treating more patients who are COVID-19 positive at St. Thomas River Park, and our ICU is more full now than at any time during this pandemic. We continue to refine our surge plans in order to take care of more cases which are imminent. I wanted to summarize some of the facts that we now know to be true within the healthcare industry. Asymptomatic and pre-symptomatic patients can spread the virus quickly. The virus produces more symptoms than we originally believed. Children can develop the disease. The virus affects blood clotting, creating more danger of heart attacks and strokes. Convalescent plasma is a beneficial treatment, as is the antiviral drug remdesivir, and steroids have proven effective for ventilated patients. And lastly, masking, social distancing, and hand hygiene are very effective at preventing the spread of the virus. The most helpful thing you can do for our community and your loved ones is to wear a mask and don't congregate in groups of more than 10. Please continue to stay safe and vigilant. We're all appreciative of your assistance and patience as we continue to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. God bless each of you, and thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mr. Humphrey. And once again, county services, essential services will continue as long as we're able to provide those. If you've got questions about any county or city operations, please call those respective offices because conditions change daily, as we know. Next week, we plan to have Education Commissioner Schwinn on our show in order to give us some updates. But in the meantime, the Governor's Conference this afternoon may outline future plans or further plans or recommendations from Nashville. We all must realize that our future is determined one day at a time. To be effective in our strategies, it's going to take all of us, the Warren County team, working collectively as one army to defeat this unknown enemy. With your help, with your support, with your cooperation, we will rebound again. Sometime in the next few months, a vaccine may be available. It's expedient that all of our residents be receptive to that fact and not make it a political statement, as many things during this pandemic has taken place over the course of the last 6 months. In the meantime, as your county executive, I will lead our preparedness team to protect the safety and security of Warren County's 45,000 residents. That is my task. Your task as a resident, as a citizen, as a vested interest in our community and our county is to follow those few simple guidelines. Wear a mask as a sign of community pride and your service to protect others. Keep it clean. Use good personal hygiene. Social distance and avoid large crowds. That is your task as a vested member of our community. It's not much to ask when we're looking at the lives and the future of everything that we are as Warren County, Tennessee. And just a few reminders, essential services will continue. There'll be building guidelines in place across all government offices, federal, state, and local. And most of all, please be respectful of others. There is nothing in life that's easy. But during hard times, we witness both the good and the bad in people that manifests itself in behavior that either makes you a hero or a zero. Our conscience should tell us whether it's right or wrong. I want to leave you with an anonymous quote that was once used by President Ronald Reagan. Without the strength to endure the crisis, one will not see opportunity within. Our opportunity to shine as a community depends upon our collective behavior and support of all those things that are aimed toward the safety and security of every person in this county, every person in this state, every person in this nation. So take care, Warren County. It is within us to adapt and adjust for the benefit of all. And let us not forget, it is together that we build a better tomorrow not for a select few, but for all of us. God bless America, God bless Tennessee, and God bless Warren County. Thank you.